Over the past few months, Malte has been slowly teasing what might end up becoming the biggest update Gilrock has ever had. And the more I looked into this whole Ascension thing, the crazier it started sounding. Because what started as a pretty simple reset system has slowly turned into an entire progression overhaul with skill trees, different stages, and a bunch of completely new mechanics. So the first time Ascension was ever mentioned was actually all the way back in February, and back then the idea was way simpler. It was basically reset your levels, keep your important stuff, and get some sort of permanent progression from it. The important part was how Malte wanted to handle it, because he specifically said he hated reset systems that completely destroy all your progress and make you redo everything again. And that actually explains a lot about why Ascension is being designed the way it is. Instead of wiping your whole account every time, the plan was to keep important progression permanent so your gear stay and your pickaxes stay unlocked and levels become more of the thing you're sacrificing instead. Then around a month later, Malte officially confirmed Ascension was coming, but he did say it was not anytime soon. And at the time I don't think anyone realised how massive this feature was actually going to become. Then, in late April, everything changed. This is where Ascension stopped sounding like a normal prestige update and started sounding like a complete rebuild of Gilrock's progression. Instead of unlocking at level 500, Ascension would now start at level 50, and that makes so much more sense, because instead of randomly throwing this giant mechanic at players in endgame, you slowly learn it throughout the game instead. And the actual Ascension system itself just got way more interesting too. Instead of completely resetting your progress, the game now cuts portions off your levels depending on what stage you're at. So early game Ascension is a lot more forgiving, but later on it gets way harsher. At higher stages you can lose massive chunks of levels and your rarest pickaxe can even get reset. But the whole point of the system doesn't seem to be start over from nothing. It's more about creating long-term progression without making all your grinding feel pointless, and that's a really hard thing to balance. In May, things stopped being concepts and started becoming real. Malte posted this huge devlog talking about how he spent 7 hours completely locked in working on Ascension. And during that session he finished the skill tree, saving, UI and many other things. This screenshot right here was our first actual look at the Ascension tree, and this already looks kind of insane. And then a few days later, we got a closer look at one of the branches, and this is probably the part I'm most excited for. Because if the skill tree ends up being as deep as it looks, we could actually start seeing different builds and progression paths in Gilrock. Like imagine people making completely different grinding setups depending on which branch they go down. And weirdly enough, this update might actually make VIP way more useful, because in one of my previous videos I called VIP bad, but if XP becomes super important for Ascension progress, that 1.35 XP boost suddenly becomes way more valuable. So this update could completely change how useful VIP is. And the craziest part to me is how much this feature evolved. What started as a pretty basic reset idea back in February has turned into what might end up as the biggest progression system Gilrock has ever had. If you enjoyed the video and you want to stay updated on the latest Gilrock news, make sure to subscribe. See you.